星に瞬きを伝えて守るものがあるからきっと強くなれる語るべき言葉なくした星の守りでは時の果て夢の果て闇に立ちすくんだ風を呼んでみたんだ空に向けて誰かを呼んでみたんだ光求めたソリチュードかすかなレゾナンス確かに届くロマンスそんな流れ星たちを抱き留めた明日が見えなくだって乗り越えなくちゃって奇跡の奇跡描き未来へつなぐ Growing High 心のフォトンが銀河にこぼれて道を強く照らす Burning Bright それぞれの思い秘めた星の守り手は空からの呼ぶ声に導かれた重ねる手と手には言葉なんかより伝わることがある熱い心通じ合った確かなレゾナンス見つけるのはエッセンス目指した意識の先がディスティネーション答えが見えなくてくじけそうになって支え合い誓い合う絆でつなぐシャイニースマイル心のフォトンが銀河に溢れて道を開く鍵は My Starlight Heart明日が見えなくだって乗り越えなくちゃって奇跡の奇跡描き未来へつなぐ
Hello, welcome into the Blue Otter League. We're getting ready for our Diamond League. We got the next level esports facing off against the Art of War. As you can see, the draft has already been done. We've already gone through it all. We are on a bit of a delay with everything. So hopefully it won't be too bad. We're going to get ready for this first game. As you can see, the draft. I'm joined in by Ryleon. And how are you doing today? I hope I said your name right. I actually should have gotten that before we went live.
That is all right. Ryleon. I answered it. Hey, you guy with the beard. All of it, man. So
That's right. You
all
should change your name
okay.
to that. Just you, hey, you guy with the beard.
I like that. It's official trademarked. Please, nobody take that from me.
All right. Well, we got you stepping up. You were going to do the Gold League, so you weren't quite prepared for the Diamond League. We just needed an E-sub for this. And speaking of E-subs, Next Level Esports also had to have an E-sub for their ADC, so they lost 2 bans going into this one, which has left open a lot of powerful picks, as you can see, like Senna making her way through. Volibear has been something that's been highly contentious here in the Diamond League, and we're really starting to see that get more and more powerful. But then on the other side, I'm surprised to see how far Orianna got in the draft. That one surprises me. We usually see Orianna so much earlier on.
Okay, well, maybe they wanted to set up. I mean, you saw it's the round 4 and round 5 picks there, so maybe they wanted to keep that on the back burner, their little secret weapon there. They have the J4, so that heavy engage Orianna was always maybe a possibility there, but the definite Zac engage or having 2 different options there is a definite must, and I think a really pivotal part of Art of War's whole entire concept that they're going for game number 1 here.
And I look at this draft, and it's so funny because you see Volibear, you see Zac, you're like, oh, jungles, but no, that's not how they are anymore. They're top laners now. They're up in the top lane pretty much permanently. Very rarely do I even see them pivot back into the jungle. It's kind of like the reworks Garner. Everyone's like, jungle, we got to play them like jungle before. No, top lane, top lane, top lane, top lane.
Everyone can go everywhere now in Season 14. I think that's like the precipice that they've set for League of Legends.
That's what I say when I play Yuumi top lane with full lethality.
There you go. And does it work, though?
I've gotten a solo kill before.
Hey, that's all that matters. A win's a win. We take it. And
I didn't say I won the game. I just got a solo kill. That's all.
well, that's the win though. We take all of those, small and large here. But the heavy engage, I'm liking Art of War a little bit more than Next Level Esports. Just looking at game number 1, and Ashe is my by far favorite ADC for the last 2 seasons here. But I just like the heavy engage, the Orianna Zac J4 combo. That's just going to be really nasty. And the damage output and the oppressiveness between the Lucian Nami on the bot lane, especially early on against these 2 squishies. I think Art of War really has this early, mid, and late game overall.
So yeah, I understand your position there, but even with Lucian Nami, I see Senna Ashe on the other side. I'm like, how are you supposed to get near them? They might be squishy, but if you dash into that, you're just going to get a volley. It's going to be last embrace. You're rooted in place. You're taking all this damage from range. They both outrange you. Even early on, Senna has about the same range as Lucian. It's really going to be Nami that more outranges anything. So it's really going to be critical for Art of War for them to land the bubble. Get that Aqua Prison, land that, because I think that's the time. That's when they have to pull the trigger. Because like you said, especially looking at like their level 6s here for Art of War, that is a lot of wombo combo potential. Jarvan, Flag and Drag, Orianna. You even have Zac who can utilize that ball delivery system. But then I look at Next Level Esports, and I see this composition that has really strong lanes. Like, you look top lane, Volibear actually is a really good laner now. You have mid lane still Sylas. You might get a little bit bullied by Orianna early on, but the Senna Ashe, they're just, as long as they play safe, they'll be fine. They can scale up into the game. And I see this kind of like a comp that is really the catch and release. They can take the engage and they can push it right back in your face. So unless you're able to pop someone in this backline quickly enough, you're going to struggle. You're going to struggle in many capacities.
Absolutely, and you mentioned the level 6 pop-off, definitely, and that level 2 spike, it's going to be very pivotal for Nami to Lucian. If they hit that early, just by 5 seconds, you've seen what 5 seconds, what that really means in League of Legends terms. It's like 10 hours. So if they can hit that level 2 spike, and they can get them off the experience early enough, if they can pop that damage off between the E combo and the dash in from Lucian there, you know, they could possibly get that little advantage that they need. And yeah, I know the poke and the sustain from Senna is going to be kind of difficult for them to deal with, but if they're constantly putting the pressure up and moving up in lane, J4, that's just going to set up for pretty easy ganks, you know, especially early. That's what J4 does. You know, you want him to get into those early ganks as soon as possible here, but it's all speculation.
And we're loaded up onto the Rift now. We're ready for our first game here of the Diamond League. Everyone get into the line of scrimmage. Not going to go for anything kind of exciting here from either side. I was maybe hoping to see something kind of wild here, but nah, then I kind of think about it. I'm like, why would you do that with these compositions? You don't really have that power at level 1. Maybe you can have a late invade right here as like Fire Mana actually getting caught out, but not getting the Scott of Duck to connect. So the chain's missing. Does seem that Next Level Esports gonna have to fall back, even though they do get a little bit of chip damage onto the members of Art of War.
Yeah, can't argue with that. I mean, great footwork there by Fireman and not getting caught out, not being alt-tabbed or anything like that, staying aware of her surroundings. Definitely a good thing here. And looking at the runes, looking at the masteries, nothing really seems out of the ordinary here. You know, top lane Volibear not opting in for a flash. That's nothing really that crazy here. Ghost teleport, you know, Zac opting in for the flash, obviously, you know, doesn't really benefit that much from the Ghost as much. You know, Hecarim obviously has the Ghost here, so still having the teleports, the double teleports on both sides is going to make for some interesting gameplay in the neutral objectives around the Baron and around the Dragon later on. But and then Ignite on the Lucian, actually, that shows you how aggressive that they want to be and hoping that they get this level 2 spike early. So let's see if he's actually able to do so here. But
yeah, at least trying at the moment. But I kind of feel like we'll just see a little bit of the stare downs from each side. Try to get, like you said, try to get the level 2 experience leads, but not really gonna have anybody actually play aggressively. Like, you're gonna already see Dolan on a Riri falling back here, realizing that the double range here getting poked out, that they're not really gonna be able to get that level 2 spike. The only one that's kind of in a tough spot here is the Zac. Has the Bloblets, and this is what I was kind of talking about with Volibear and how powerful he is. And why you just have to give a lot of respect to any Volibear. He lands that Sky Splitter, especially going Doran's Ring, you're gonna take a beating.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And normally I've seen a lot of like lethal tempo Volibear, but he's not opting for that. He wants to go for the Grasping and Dying, get those, you know, stacks off, back off. Go in, hit, get out. And, you know, Zach also having the Grasping and Dying is going to be a tank battle, but with the Doran's Ring, that gives him the huge advantage, especially, like you said, you know, with that level 1 ability there. But it's going to make for some interesting play later on, and, you know, as the time progresses, like you said, this is going to be in favor of blue side here with the Senna stacks. They're just able to go ahead and farm up as they're doing right now. They're just kind of winning on all fronts. There goes that early level 3 gank by J4 and the flash being burned there. I can't see the names, unfortunately. It's a little bit blurry, but
okay.
you know.
Yeah, that's sometimes Discord, right? It just gets a little bit blurry, but it's okay. So it just was Crim's just kind of showing up in mid lane, kind of trying to get something. Getting a flash off of Silas is going to be nice. Hustle gonna have to be a bit more cautious here in this mid lane, especially against Fire Mana, but you are Silas. You're not that threatened. You do have dashes away, but bot lane. I talked about the bubble landing, and you could see how much damage that M1 took. Realizing that they're in a bad spot. Crim's all over the map. M1 burning to the Ignite. First blood for Dolan with the flag and drag landing on a Cheeto. Then the Aqua Prison. You might gallop your way into the bot lane, Hecarim, but way too late. The Pony Express is leaving the station.
And this is what we were just talking about in draft. They are the heavy poke lane. It's going to be difficult. They have to play back. But what's that going to leave you open for? Some nice, juicy ganks from the J4. And Crims is already on top of that. Love it.
Already on top of it. Already getting a lot of this pressure. And see there, that Echo kind of wanted to get rid of the Scuttle Crab. Realized that it was already taken by Crims. And that's 2 successful ganks. Getting the flash in mid lane onto Hustle, but then getting the 2 kills bot lane, even better. One of them going over to Dolan, which really is going to set up this bot lane to absolutely terrorize when we get into the mid game.
Yes, and it wasn't just a kill, it was the first blood, so that little extra 100 gold as well on top of it. Love to see it. 2 long swords and a dagger for his first back, so they're going to be very aggressive, I think, moving forward here. And, you know, they just have to be mindful of that, and I think that poking, that pressure that we saw a lot of early on coming from Sun and Ash is definitely going to be dwindling down a little bit here, because they don't want to be pushed up in the lane at all again.
No, not at all. They're going to want to play very safe on this one. And I'm kind of looking at what next level Esports can do in this game. And like I said, they have, you know, pretty decent catch and release, but you have to be able to catch at the first plate. If it's going to be a fastball that burns your glove, you're not really going to be able to do much and then throw it back to the opposition. Your hand's going to be hurting too much for that. And at this moment, they are starting to fall behind in many regards, except for the CS. That is the one thing that is kind of keeping them level against Art of War here. You look top lane, you see that they have a sizable lead for themselves there. You look in bot lane too, that there's a pretty decent lead for Cheeto. Sure, it's only about, you know, it's hovering around 10 CS, but having any kind of lead here for this Ashe over the Lucian after such a successful bot lane gank is going to at least put you in this position when we get to the level 6s, when we start seeing a lot more of these engages using the Wombo combo for Art of War. You have that potential to push it back.
Yep, that is very true. I mean, I saw plenty of games yesterday. You know, there was like 6 kills on an ADC, but he was down by over 100 farm. It was actually down by 1,000 gold. So CS is super important here on all levels of gameplay. You can have all the kills you want, but if you're not CS, if you're not farming, you definitely can fall behind here. And, you know, as that top lead grows, I mean, what can really Zach do, or what should be the move coming in from Art of War to suppress that volley bear, you know, in your opinion here?
Ignore it. That'd be my professional opinion here, is that you're not doing much to him for a while. It's Volibear. Volibear is going to be strong pretty much at every level of the game. And if you're Nampia, you're kind of just looking elsewhere. You're looking for plays outside of lane. Like, this is something that I take in my solo queue games too. When I int, I'm just like, all right, time to roam, time to forfeit this lane and just go elsewhere, feed the rest of my team, so they're going to be the ones to carry. And I feel like that's going to be the sage advice I could give to not to Syntax, to Empla here in this top lane. Kind of try to see if he can get away from Volibear and from Syntax.
Absolutely, and I think he's doing a phenomenal job, you know, having no deaths early on, having to burn the flash, yes, but still, that's what cooldowns are for, you know? And, you know, not partaking in fights.
I have right now, you think you heal up, you're like, I have Bramble Vest, I'll stop the healing of Syntax. He doesn't care. He doesn't care. It doesn't matter, it's Volibear. You saw the shield that he got from the Sky Splitter. He has the Stormbringer too, just poking at him with that lightning crashing down each time. Then has his own lightning strike onto the minions. So it is going to be difficult here in this top lane to really do much against this. We're going to actually have to shift our attention into the mid lane because Wassel fighting against Fire Mana, getting a lot of damage there, but it's going to be the shockwave back with the Flag and Dragon. It's Crims. You're just always in the perfect place, aren't you?
Yes, he is. Ask and you shall receive, and the bat signal definitely up there for Crims. And this is just absolutely phenomenal. I mean, this is everything you could possibly ask and want out of a J4. And, you know, he's executing everything phenomenally. He has 100% kill participation right now on the board here for Art of War. So, you know, keep on doing what you're doing, bud. That's all we can really say.
Exactly. Just keep it up. The only thing is then what is going to happen here in this top lane? Once Volibear gets involved in things, how are you going to deal with the bear? He's going to come out of hibernation eventually. Like I said, I want to see Nampla kind of move around the map, but you're still going to struggle even afterwards. Because now we look at this bot lane play. There's a good flag and drag with the arrow and the push back too, but a good flash from Crims will keep him alive as Dolan going to be the one they target instead. Double bubble lands Oriri trying to help out, but Dolan now caught between a rock and a hard place with 4 members here of Next Level. They're ready for this dive. They're going to go for Dolan. The push back away for Huasol to get the kill credit, even though it is going to be a trade of 1-for-1.
Yep, a 1-for-1. Definitely not in favor of that, and all the experience that he's kind of given up here in mid lane, or giving back to the Orianna, because Silas was up on CS. You know, leaving lane kind of allowed her to farm it up, now kind of push it back into, you know, his tower and everything. So, you know, is there a whole lot that's gained? You're on the board now with the kill, yes, and the gold lead is completely even due to the shutdown that was given, but I don't know if everything across the map is necessarily even though the fight was.
Yeah, you know, it's hard to really quantify that, right? Because it is nice. One big thing that it did, even if Dolan does get the kill, it kind of goes back into the CS game, right? It removed Dolan from the map for a little bit of time, so Cheeto still was able to get some gold back. They got a plate in this bot lane as well. Maybe Dolan and Oriri can trade it back and get a plate in the spot lane, but they're playing it smart. They're playing it wisely, and they're not even looking to try to answer with a plate of their own. But because they're playing a little bit safer, it means they're not really catching up on that gold dough. They get this pick onto M1. Nice flag and drag with a flash away from M1. He kind of was smart to that one. I like that reaction. Even though it was not going to land, he was worried. Didn't really know the timer there from Crimson's flash, and didn't know if it was going to be the flash flag and drag.
True, or a Cataclysm, or anything that could have popped out of J4 there. So, you know, definitely playing it safe once again. That's the reason why cooldowns are there. You know, and the kills, once it might be heavily in favor right now for Art of War, but that CS that they've just managed to have over everybody. I mean, look at Hecarim compared to J4. J4's been effective in the ganking, but look at that CS difference. It's 27 CS, and that's, let's just say essentially 30. That's 2 kills equivalent. And J4 only has 1 kill right now. So still, it's kind of even across, you know, the jungle, even though the score doesn't really necessarily show as much. And then going right back to the top lane. Look at the 20 CS farm lead that Volibear has that's going to keep on growing. And do they even have an answer for that? I mean, I know Lucian is strong, but their DPS to take on a Volibear that's completely untouched right now for the first 11 minutes of the game. When are they going to start to, you know, see him? 20 minutes in? What's he going to be? How big is he going to be at that point, you know?
Exactly. And we also saw while that was all happening that all 6 Void Grubs have now been secured by Next Level. Yes, it is going to be the second dragon of the game that Art of War get for themselves. But honestly, if I'm Next Level at this point, you know, I'm telling Syntax, hey, build Hullbreaker. You don't even need to be a part of this. You can just end the game by yourself. If ever 2 members show up to try to deal with Syntax, he'll win. He'll win the 2v1. 3 members try to take down the Volibear. Probably still wins that one, and the team can get more on the map. So I think right now, that even though these early plays have been going well for Art of War, they have been having a lot of these great movements from Crims. But it's, like you said, it's the gold that you're gaining from these minions for Echo here, huge lead there. Even if it's 100% kill participation for Crims, it's not enough. The gold is dead even. It's about 200 separating the two. And now Syntax fighting against Nampla. But Nampla, you again don't want to actually fight this one. The Volibear is a lot stronger than you, and he can just go for the Rolling Thunder under the turret, take a couple shots, and he's like, fine, I'm fine. I'll heal back up at next bite I take onto you with the Frenzy. I have a Sky Splitter shield that I can always get. Where's Crims? Crims is mid lane that entire time. He was trying to clear out his jungle because he's trying to catch back up to Echo.
Yep, that is that big game of catch-up right here. 45 farm lead now in favor to Echo. And here we go as we have a little fight happening around the
Push
Dragon
back,
Pit.
the flash away from Fire Mana. It's going to be the Sombrero Shockwave, but Crims with the Piercing Darkness picking up that kill. Daunting Shadows helped out a lot too. But they got an easy kill there for M1, and they can peel back, push back in Art of War towards this turret. That was Flash burn, Shockwave burned, even the Tidal Wave burned from Art of War, and they still lost a life.
Yep, and this is without the Volibear present, and that's actually what I was going to ask you. You know, in the 4v4, if Volibear is going to be staying top lane, if he does end up picking up the Hull Breaker, which, once again, highly recommend, you know, from yourself right there, you know, can they even win the 4v4? I'm talking about in Art of War. Yeah, they have these early little sneaky kills, but in the complete team-to-team aspect, I don't think they have the damage to really answer next level.
Right, and I agree. And that's why I talked about like the differences in the composition, right? You have a really good wombo combo. When you're the ones aggressing, when you're the one starting off the fight here for Art of War. But when you're not, or if you're not able to find that catch quick enough, if you can't pick off one member really fast, like get rid of Cheeto, get rid of M1 before the rest of the team can react, well, there goes everything you've just used, and now they're going to fight back. They have the catch and release, the push back against you. As Fire Mana, you had already used that Shockwave, and they can just push you away. Hecarim easily will collect that kill in the mid lane.
Jeez. I mean, this is just the turnaround, the comeback game. Oh, and it's not done yet.
Flashing away. That was Cataclysm from Crims as well, but realizing that Huatzal is very tanky. That's the thing with Sylas. People forget that Kingslayer, he heals up so much.
Yeah. That is atrocious. There's a lot of healing. There's a lot of shielding coming in from next level. I mean, Sylas, Volibear, Hecarim, Senna, you know, able to do all of the above here. You know, they definitely need to have anti-healing or anti-shields across. Somebody has to pick that up there. So Lucian, I think we might see a Serpents fan later on, but
if he can
it's
get
not going to be enough. Yeah, if he can even get there. Yeah, that's the dilemma. 2 kills right now, you know, even in farm with the Ashe, but the team is now down by 2k gold.
That's a TP that Huatzal is using. Ampla, you dashed into that one, and you're going to lose the Bloblets. The rest of the team doesn't even want to back you up because they realize there is no hope in saving that Zac with the Rift Herald dying as well.
Yeah, I mean, I understand the attempt, definitely, but the communication, if they said, if you jump in there, we're not going to help you, and he did it anyways, that's different. But I think he was just like, okay, guys, I'm going in. They're like, yeah, we're not doing that.
Yeah, especially when you look at Echo and Crimson's difference in experience. Like, we talked about the CS. We were talking about how big of a lead that is for Echo, and that is kind of what you expect with Hecarim, just power farming while Jarvan's going to be the one trying to make the plays early into the game. But it's a 2-level experience difference between the junglers. The smite difference that you get from that alone as well, that Echo's already completed that, you know, the jungle item. Already gotten that quest completed, which means you have a greater smite there than Crims. So Crims kind of was like, yeah, I don't think I can outsmite Hecarim at this point. Echo's easily got that. There's no real fight back there, and now we're getting to this point where the gold was dead even for a while. But now we're seeing it slowly but surely get more and more compounded on itself, and next level are taking it to the next level as they have a 2,500 gold lead over Art of War.
Yeah, and they were looking so good. I mean, Art of War, they're coming into tonight's match 1-4, but they didn't. It didn't feel like that when they first started, you know. But the communication, Next Level Esports are 2-3. They want to go back to the even. Both coming off fresh defeats from last week, so they're putting their alls coming into week number 6 here. But it just seems like Next Level has much better communication, much better macro, and then even in the laning phases, they just picked the better compositions into their opponents here. And you know, I understand picking the Zac last pick, but if you're not actually going to utilize the combo between the Ori and the Zac hard engage, I think it might have been better to go with an actual duelist or laning composition rather than a potential team fight, you know?
I think the bigger thing is banning Volibear. Volibear is just so strong, but here we go. Maybe we'll see that wombo combo in the back line, the flash away from M1, but the Cataclysm doesn't help out. Daunting Shadows, huge shield, and Syntax in the back line. The Volibear slamming down the hammer. They're ripping apart Art of War. Riri will die too. Full ace for Next Level Esports.
That was like the quickest sorry, good luck, better luck next time. You know, Next Level, the positioning from Ashe completely untouched, has a blue buff, has everything there. Cheeto was completely unaffected by everything, and I saw the shockwave come in from Orianna, and I was like, ooh, that's a pretty good shockwave, but the Cataclysm and everyone else being stuck, no damage. That's exactly what I was gonna say. Everyone moved, but their health bars unfortunately didn't at all. So
like I said, it's like if the play doesn't kill someone like M1 or Cheeto immediately, and M1 was the target, surviving, there's no hope. You're not winning the fight. And we saw right there that Syntax, even though the bear died, that's because the bear voluntarily dashed into 5 members. All the focus was put onto Volibear, which meant all the other members were getting this free damage onto the fairly squishy members of Art of War.
Yeah, this is extremely rough. I mean, you were talking about the items as well. I mean, Hecarim, you know, he's 4-1-6. He has his first completed item, but just looking at the impact of just these two, once again, he has 131 farm. I'm surprised he hasn't bought anything yet, or has he just not based to
I
even
would like to see the
so?
gold. I think he's probably got a decent size. Yep, there it is.
Yeah.
I figured. I'm like, he's had that Spear of Sojin for some time now, so I was expecting that, not a full item that he can purchase, but getting the Tunneler there, getting a Ruby Crystal, as well as getting a Control Ward. Yeah. Yeah, things aren't looking so good here for Art of War with a lot of this power coming through, and especially as we're getting close to those 2-item spikes here for someone like Hwasol or even for Cheeto. People kind of forget that Ashe as an ADC does scale excellently into the game, especially when she does go crit. That you're now getting this position that this Ashe, even if she's immobile, if you don't kill her right away, she's killing you for sure.
I mean, she's going Trinity Fortress, so she's going to have a little bit more movement speed. You know, on her autos, it gains, I think, like, what, 20 movement speed for everything she attacks?
It's still not that much.
So every little bit helps, and she has Ghost, you know, and things like that. Oh, hold on 1 second.
Look in the bot lane, though. That is going to be the Shockwave onto 2 members, but look at how little damage it did to Hwasol and Echo. It's going to be a Riri showing up. Another Shockwave, but sombreroed by Hwasol with the Dawning Shadow to heal them back up. A Riri getting back towards the turret as Fire Mana making sure there's no dive, but all that use for nothing out of Art of War because how far ahead Next Level are.
Yeah, even with the Executioner's Calling, I believe he had during that fight, the healing coming in. Oh, the Enchanted Crystal Arrow.
Yep. Oh, I'm tilted for a Riri on that one. I'm tilted for a Riri on that one.
It's the skin. Was that Fey Dragon? I think Fey Dragon and Project are my 2 favorites because they just have like the biggest hitbox.
Yeah, it looks so skinny, but it actually can hit. Oh, I like this from Nampla though. Looking for M1. They actually do pick up a kill, but look at that. They just throw it right back at Dolan. So they get 2 kills for that because of Riri dying earlier, meaning that Cheeto, still untouched in this mid lane, can keep farming up and keep putting the pressure back onto Art of War.
Yep, and a support for an ADC. I will take that trade any day of the week if I'm Next Level. I mean, it's like, okay, our damage dealer, Ashe, is still going to pick up the kill. So, you know, you just essentially reset yourself for her to give her even more gold to get further ahead later on. So, you know, if they can get these big shutdowns and start turning the gold and really focusing on just the high priority targets rather than just trying to fight as a team, that is how I think that they can make a slight comeback into this game at this point in time.
You have a lot more faith than I do.
I say if they can.
Yeah, I don't want to be that person who's just like, it's over, because no game's over until it's over, right? Anything can happen, but you're down almost 7,000 gold here to Next Level. Their scaling is starting to come online. You already have 2 items for Hwasol, for Cheeto, for Echo as well. Like right there, looking for this play on a Cheeto, but nobody could even get close. That was even Crims using the Flag and Drag over the wall, hoping maybe to flash in and then get the Cataclysm to lock in Cheeto. But Cheeto was able to just easily skirt away, just walk back towards the turret, so they couldn't actually go for the play.
Yep, didn't care at all. I mean, we had the culling being used by Dolan there just to try to get some kind of damage preemptively before hopefully the Zac was trying to jump in, but he was just too far. And then you said this time and time again, the Orianna has some beautiful shockwaves, like absolutely amazing. It's just no oomph behind it. Oh,
and now look at the oomph there from Hwasol, going 1v3 into the backline, got all that damage onto Riri. It's going to be a tidal wave dodge away by Echo to get the kill onto Crims with the TP from Napla, but way too late. They got the fear onto Dolan, and they're chasing that down. Flash away, but they've got the roots from the last embrace, and it's going to be your own last embrace there, Fire Mana. They're diving you. Awooga goes the dive there from the submarine of Echo, as Napla does get the elastic slingshot on 2-1, but he had to get over that wall. They got a flash. He went in, and this is going to die. The Bloblets pop. Flash there from M1 on the other side to chase down a Riri and get a flash as well as Cheeto gets the kill. A Riri does actually get away and does get the bubble to land to make sure the turret doesn't get the kill as a super blast cone. It's a Riri far away, but guess who's there? It's a bear, and he eats salmon for lunch, and there's going to be a nice bite.
Oh my goodness. Just when you think, hey, I made it, I got the kill, and of all the people to get the shutdown, unfortunately, it goes on over to the support. One of the most ineffective people that they could possibly ask for on the side of Art of War, unfortunately. Man, Haswal has just constantly been berating them. 15 out of the 18 KP right now. At one point, I believe up until like 12, 13 kills in, he was at 100% KP. He was there for every single one of them, either in the mid or some kind of supporting role or entrapment, or he's just been phenomenal. And the communication coming out of Next Level has been next level.
And right now, we're just saying that this has gotten to that point where you're down 10,500 gold, 23 minutes into the game. You have no control of your own jungle. I'm looking at what Art of War can do in this game, and it's one of those games where, you know, just you look at commentary, you look at how things are, and one nice thing is it is a best of 3, right?
Yep.
It's a best of 3. You see what went wrong in this game. And I gotta say, I give a lot of props over to Crims and how he played this one. I think he did a great job early game, trying to get a lot of pressure for the team. But really, it does come down to the fact that he can only fill so many of the holes in the sinking ship, right? He can only do so much to try to fill up the gaps, to help out the team. Top lane was struggling really hard, and that's just the nature of the beast when it's the Volibear versus Zac. You have bot lane, the double range that just outranges both Dolan and Ariri. That makes it really difficult. Even mid lane, Silas eventually just gets to this point that Fireman is not going to be able to do anything. And now they're on this Baron. It's already down to 25% health. And then Crims doesn't have a way in. They're actually peeling back. They're looking for the re-engage. Flag and Drag did not connect, but they get the play back with the stretching strikes. The Crims is going to die. Cheeto just free firing, and you locked him into the pit as Ariri runs away from Echo, leaving Nampla to die to the double kill there from Cheeto. But Ariri, you're not going anywhere. It's going to be a kill there for Echo, and they could peel back for the Baron if they want, or they could just look to open up the base.
Yes, indeed. And I think the biggest difference maker is, you said it earlier, they have a lot of burst damage on single target priority. That's what they kind of made their whole entire composition around, while they have constant, consistent DPS on the side of Next Level. Hold on.
Just Fireman is just dying there. You're not getting out of that one. Look how little damage they took. They took no damage from Fireman or from the turret. That is how strong they are at this point. 3 members on the Baron, so they'll get the Baron, they'll keep the push. Crims goes into the mid lane, realizes, wait a minute, they can just die for free. It's really easy for them to get this kill. They get Crims as Dolan and Ariri still there. They've got Nampla on the other side, but Stormbringer was never used by Syntax. If they want to go for this dive, they can. And they've even taken away the tidal wave for Soul to re-engage on a Nampla. And look at that burst damage on a Dolan, taking out Silas. Nampla dies to the double kill, and the arrow not connecting that time around. The chains didn't get him either, but Ariri will survive. Also just goes golden. Wait a minute, tidal wave dodged away. I thought maybe there would be a snipe there for Ariri.
That is probably one of the most disrespectful Silas players I've ever seen in my entire life. Just staying underneath tower with the Volibear. I mean, literally, that just shows you how powerful he is, and you're absolutely correct. If Volibear makes it to the second game, I'm going to be flabbergasted.
No, you banned this. He's too strong right now. And like I said, Syntax never used the ult. That entire time they were diving that inhibitor turret, they never once popped it. That just shows you how strong they are. They don't even feel that they need to get rid of the turret because it does so little damage to them.
Yeah, they just do not care in the least bit. They're just prolonging the game right now because they essentially can. You know, they're just going to go ahead.
I think it's actually respect on this one. I think it is respect, knowing that if they play a little too aggressively and they are too greedy with that push, that there are ways with the shutdown gold onto 4 of the 5 members that can be picked up. They want to go for the back, they want to get the items, so they can do stuff like that. So they can just take out a Riri, say, all right, Dolan, you're here. I'm level 17, you're level 12. That ain't happening. And you look at this, Echo is a level above Fireman. They've locked down, and Crims got hit by the arrow, flag and drag over the wall. They could probably dive that if they really want to. Again, they are that strong, that far ahead, that there is no turret that they can't dive.
Yeah, there is nothing stopping them right now at all. And yeah,
Soul just goes into the base. Is like, yeah, look at this, flash away from Dolan. Echo is just gonna chase them down as they get Nampla. M1 not gonna pick up the kill. It's gonna be Cheeto as they got a killing spree for Echo on the other side, locking into the pick. But Crims, you just respawned and you're gonna die as well. Looking at a Riri back at the base. Now the game will end. Next Level took this game to the next level. 30 kills, 27 minutes. They absolutely dominated this game once they were given the reins at 15, and they never relented. So they'll take this game 1 in this best of 3.
That was a phenomenal gameplay by Next Level Esports. I mean, they found the inch that gave them a mile for the victory that was game number 1 here, and they played it absolutely perfectly. And the positioning, once again, coming from the Ashe and the Senna in every single team fight, they were out of all harm's way, and even if anything did hit, they were getting marshmallows thrown at them. I mean, shockwaves were landing, there were some great moves, good cataclysms, and a lot of early ganks coming in from the J4. Crims did absolutely everything that he could. He got the first blood onto the bot lane, but still, it's that CS difference coming from these two teams that I think was really the overwhelming, mountain that they just could not overcome. That was on the side of Art of War. So they just got to get a little mental reset, have a little bit better communication. Say, you know what? Let's forego the fighting. Try not to be as aggressive. Let's not go for a pick comp this time. Let's go for something that has a little bit more consistent damage. Something that applies a little bit more DPS. And let's say, okay, maybe we do not, maybe we do the burst. Still try to focus on CSing.
And ban the Volibear. That's a big one, too. I think you ban that, make it a little bit easier for yourself. But we are going to toss to a break so we can get ready for that second game. So we'll be right back, everyone. Stay tuned.
涙よ星に瞬きを伝えて守るものがあるからきっと強くなれる 言葉なくした星の守りでは時の果て夢の果て闇に立ちすくんだ風を呼んでみたんだ空に向けて誰かを呼んでみたんだ光求めたソリチュードかすかなレゾナンス確かに届くロマンスそんな流れ星たちを抱き留めた明日が見えなくだって乗り越えなくちゃって奇跡の奇跡描き未来へつなぐ Growing High 心のフォトンが銀河にこぼれて道を強く照らすバニーラそれぞれの思い秘めた星の守り手は空からの呼ぶ声に導かれた重ねる手と手には言葉なんかより伝わることがある熱い心通じ合った確かなレゾナンス見つけるのはエッセンス目指した意識の先がディスティネーション答えが見えなくてくじけ
Hello, welcome back into the Blue Otter League. We're getting ready for game 2. I am upset. I'm upset, except, you know what, actually less upset, because they have swapped sides. So,
Right.
next level, you know, that's fine that they didn't ban the Volibear here, because they are just like, you know what, we think we can beat it, and I like the Mordekaiser that they've taken into it, because there are very few things that I think can actually fight against Volibear. The problem is going to be, you can't fight against that Volibear until, like, level 9. So, early into the game, if we see that Nampla is actually like playing very aggressively on this Volibear, as you should, there's a good chance that you get an early lead here, really put the Mordekaiser behind so he can't get to that powerful spike where he's going to be able to bully you around.
Very true. I mean, it worked in game number 1 as 100% win rate Volibear.
What am I saying? It's not, it's, no, it's Cassante. It's a jungle Volibear.
Oh, yeah, no, you're right.
It's a jungle Volibear. Okay.
So, yeah, let's figure that out. Is there going to be a difference maker between the top laning Volibear versus the jungle Volibear? You think it's going to have the same impact, or do you think it's lessens heavily?
It's honestly... Oh, actually, wait, it could be a jungle Mordekaiser. Because look, there's a...
Oh,
man, there's a lot of craziness going on right now for next level as well. So I'm going to go... This is what I'm going to say. It is going to be Yone Cassante top lane, Camille Var spot lane, Lux mid, Mordekaiser jungle. So, though I still think that the Volibear loses a lot of power not being in top lane. It is a very strong pick in top lane right now. It just how much power he has early into the game, the healing he gets, the scaling, everything works well in top lane. That I would prefer that, but I'm kind of looking at this, and this is such a wild draft from both teams, and I respect it. I respect these kind of drafts here. The Camille support,
I've seen that.
Yeah, we've been seeing a lot of that, but it's up against a Blitzcrank, which I really like as well, because Blitzcrank, I think, is just a great champion in general. I love playing Blitzcrank. And when you have something that's immobile like Varus or Lux on the other side, does well into either. Doesn't matter if the Lux is mid lane. You ever see that Lux anywhere on your screen as Blitzcrank, you're pretty much flashing for it every time to get the pull back in. And then you have a lot of poke here with Caitlyn and Karma on your side too. So I'm kind of looking at this one, and these are going to be a little bit wonky of fights here for Art of War. They got to get a lot of poke first before they look for some of these engages. They really have to let Caitlyn Karma do their work, get people to about 50% before looking for these fights. While next level, they've kind of changed the script themselves. They're far more about starting off these fights, going for skirmishes early into the game, especially utilizing the Camille, utilize Mordekaiser jungle, and try to find these 2v2s, 3v3s at like 10, 11 minutes into the game.
Yes, indeed. I mean, they do have a lot of poke also on Next Level Esports, which is exactly what you were saying. So even though Caitlyn and Karma in their respective lanes, even though it's going to be Caitlyn Blitz in the bot lane, just having that poke, around these neutral objectives, it's going to be like, who is going to be digging in first into the trenches to cause the poking? That's really it. So the vision control is going to be absolutely mandatory.
Oh, wait. It's not Camille support.
All right, so it's Lux support definitely with Varus?
It's Lux support. So that's Yone mid, Camille top, Mordekaiser jungle. That's okay.
Okay.
Interesting. I thought it would be the Camille. See, I actually would still prefer the Camille support over the Lux support against Blitzcrank.
Into the Blitzcrank, definitely.
Exactly.
Because you want to. Blitzcrank's going to bring you to himself anyways, so it's like Camille's going to hop in, and that makes it a little bit predictable. But if Camille is pulled in, she can just hop out. If Lux is pulled in, she can't do anything at all. She's gonna get bursted.
I'll say that there's a weird interaction when it comes to hookshot with Camille and Blitzcrank pull. Having played a lot of Blitzcrank, depending when you throw out the hook and when the hookshot goes out, you can actually get the pull, the hookshot can go, and Camille can get away. It's kind of weird. But here we go. We're into game 2. Art of War swapping over to the blue side. Want to take us to game 3 against Next Level Esports. And yeah, look at that. We get to see exactly where everyone is paired up. It's Syntax onto that Camille top lane. Echo actually running the Ghost on Mordekaiser. Very interesting to see that. I'm used to seeing obviously Flash, but sometimes I even see Ignite on Mordekaiser jungles just for those 1v1 duels.
Do you expect to see the early Rylai's because of the Ghost as well? So just to very much make sure that we're not going to get any kind of escape?
100%. I think that is pretty much what you could maybe make an argument of the Rift Maker or maybe Leandri's, but I think it's a Rally's Rush. You get the Rally's Rush, you Ghost in, everyone's slowed with your AoE. Like, imagine how immobile so many of these members on the side of Art of War are, that you're just not getting away from them once you're there. And we see in the bot lane, Riri, are you going to throw out the hook? There it is. To land on an M1. Get the Piltover Peacemaker to connect to. This is kind of why I would have liked to see that Camille in the bot lane, just because you can get pulled pretty easily there as M1, and you got very little damage on a Dolan and a Riri early on into this game. So I want to see Dolan and a Riri really take over this bot lane, especially after last game. Cheeto and M1 getting all that poke on them. They have a lot of anger to take out here against this bot lane.
Yes, they do, and they're showing up and showing out. That's another Blitzcrank pull that did land. Unfortunately, the Piltover Q there from Caitlyn not going to land on that second engage, but still, this is what they do. They're going to push up, they're going to be aggressive, they're going to post up aggressively, and that is going to have to either be answered by some serious poke or some heavy engage. And there we go, landing a couple Qs, dodging the hook.
You're dodging the hook. Honestly, there for a Riri, this is my criticism as a fellow Blitzcrank player. You know what I would have done there? I would have flashed backwards, then look for the hook so you can angle it around the minion and get the pull under the turret, and then at least you're getting the flash out of M1. And I don't know if a Riri is running Hex Flash here, but I would want to see a Hex Flash run here for Blitzcrank, just for the unique pulls you can get.
I mean, he has Glacial Augment. I would hope that he would run Hex Flash here. I mean, on like Alistar, Nautilus, Blitzcrank, those are like definite have-tos, you know?
Yeah, that's kind of why I'm like, I don't want to assume until we see it. You know, you never assume, but here we go, reread. There's the flash. He is running the Hex Flash and gets the knockup with the Rocket Punch. And look at the Rolling Thunder with the Sky Splitter. Cheeto will die to first blood. Dolan getting the kill credit as a Riri survived that whole time, but Echo has popped the Ghost, looking for the chase down into Crims. You might have gone a little bit too far here, but instead Echo got a little bit of damage onto Dolan, waiting for Riri to get the pull again onto somebody, but the pull back in. They've got damage, and they get the kill onto Volibear. M1, though, will die. Echo couldn't trade it back, trying to, but it's a triple kill in total for Dolan.
Dolan, the dog himself, loved that. Oh, hold on one second. We'll get into that in just a moment, but yeah, never mind. Yeah, oh, but man, that was great positioning, and what a pull by Oriri there. I mean, absolutely dead center focused on the Lux, and Volibear with a flash save, because there was a moment there when I did think Oriri was going to die, but if it wasn't for the flash by Crims there for the lockdown and getting all that burst, that was just a phenomenal move. Now 3-1 for Art of War. But we saw an early lead last time for them, and look what happened.
Yeah, but not quite this big. 3 kills for Dolan, all the kills, all the gold, into the exact person you want it to be. On to this Caitlyn, and you know, everyone always talks about the trough of Caitlyn. You know, she's powerful in lane, struggles until she gets that second item into the game. Well, you start off with a triple kill that early into the game. You're really minimizing that gap that you're going to have between now and then when you get that second item. And honestly, if you can make another play like that from Crims, as we saw in game 1, how much, like you were talking about, how much early pressure this jungler had put on to next level, you can pretty much just fully rely on Dolan at that point to be the 1v9 carry.
That's true, but you said the jungle Volibear isn't going to be as impactful as the top here, but if you're going to be getting 3 assists off rip from your first gank of the game at 4 minutes here, I think any kind of Volibear that's going to be doing that is going to be pretty impactful.
I mean, any kind of jungler. At that point, it doesn't matter if you're playing Yuumi jungle. You get that kind of assist, you're going to help out a lot. It's a Riri, though, making these plays. The flash away from the Cheeto, but M1 already using the flash before. Rolling Thunder, Sky Splitter. Fourth kill there for Dolan, as he is now on a rampage in the spot lane.
Yeah, that's big. I mean, down by about 15 farm, so technically, you know, 3-0 when it comes to gold, but still, if you can stay ahead this consistently and those ganks just keep on coming through from Crims, I mean, you're setting yourself up for a lot of success in the into the mid game here, even you're into a heavy poke lane like Lux Varus there.
Yeah, and like I said, I got to give a lot of credit here to Riri in the spot lane. Like, Crims definitely has been all over the place, has been making a lot of plays for the team, but Oriri has been setting up those plays for Crims. Really showing the Blitzcrank's power that you can have, especially against 2 very immobile carries in the spot lane for Cheeto and for M1. And I'm kind of worried for them now. At this point, I think that here Dolan doesn't want to go for the fight, as we kind of were talking about. There is that CS difference, and now Echo in the top lane. Obelisk probably just going to die. Pretty easy dive there. There's nothing really to that one.
No, not really a whole lot that they can do. And I actually got some insider information a little bit earlier on Oriri. And they, I'm not going to mention names, but they were kind of a little bit surprised at the Nami pick, as they said, you know, more the heavy engage, and oh wow, another gank.
No flash. This is just mean at this point. You're just bullying this bot lane, making sure that Cheeto, who last game had a lot of power, you know, we talked about before, there was the early gank into the bot lane that helped out Dolan earlier. This time, Crims is like, I'm just going to power gank this bot lane. We're making sure that no matter what, Dolan is going to be fed out of their mind.
Yeah, and they're absolutely... This is what you do. When you have a slight lead, you just repeat gank. It's like, all sums are down. They're going to push up halfway. Then, yeah, we're going to take advantage of that. And Hoswal.
Okay, it's going to take a lot of damage there. These inner flames can continue to connect as well. Going to get the root. But also... shielding up. Oh, wait a minute! The Manta inner flame connects and kills him.
Oh, the mantra. I just called it the Manta. The mantra. Love that empowered Q from Karma there. I mean, the speed boost, the Q power, especially early on, that burst damage from Karma is kind of a little bit underappreciated. And you know, when you have a a lost chapter there early on, yeah, you're down in CS, but that does not mean that the burst is any less impactful.
Exactly, and Azione, kind of like his brother, Yasuo, need to be 0 and 10 before you really have that power spike anyways. So Fire Mana kind of taking advantage of that, getting that early kill, and really now we're just seeing that for Art of War, this is kind of going almost into the same playbook as last time. These early leads that they're getting from these ganks, from these kills, are helping them out, but they are still lacking a little bit when it comes to the CS gang. If they can get this kill into Syntax, that's going to be nice. With the ultimate used by Syntax, but he'll be fine. Doesn't even flash to get out of there. As Echo popping the ghost. Takes Crims into the Shadow Realm, pulls him back in with the pull there, and just needs one more slam down to the maze, but there's going to be the Sky Splitter. Now the Bear's dead. Again, getting the kill as Obelisk running away, but the hook shot and the root all out does not help out for that double kill going over to Syntax.
Ooh, Mordekaiser jungle. I mean, he popped the ghost. He was able to go ahead and get in, and
Swifties too. He was fast.
Yeah, he's coming at you like a choo-choo train. That is for certain. And hold on, Pasquale on the bot lane.
Ooh, Night Fate's unsealed. They're landing. Chain of Corruption as well onto Riri. That is going to be gold picked up. Even if M1's the one that gets it, you'll take that in the spot lane. Starting to push back a little bit against these early plays from Art of War.
This is literally the exact same thing that we saw from last game. Hold on 1 second here.
And wait a minute, where's going to be that? Oh, it's not Ace in the hole yet. Dolan's only level 5. So Hosol has all this attention from Crims, but they get the knock up and the heal back there to take down the beast.
That is just very unfortunate. I mean, Volibear did a great job, but in the 3v1, there's not really a lot that you can do at level 5. There's the ace in the hole, but the damage.
Too late.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hosol was able to heal up enough beforehand. Oh, but Inner Flame, the flash from Fireman, I respect that play with another Inner Flame. It's technically a solo bolo if you don't count the ace in the hole that came out as a Riri will get the pull onto M1 to the bot lane. But Dolan wasn't ready for the play. Instead, they're going to fall back, try to farm up a little bit to make sure they're not losing too much for this Caitlyn against Forest.
That is funny. I mean, he's like, hey, if you can't get the kill, I'm at least going to give you an assist here, right? And once again, this is the exact same thing that we saw from last game. I mean, they had a lot of these early kills they were doing. Oh, another great hook. Oh, my God.
Man, you just feel bad for M1. Your Lux without a flash against a Blitzcrank, that's going to happen every time. Unless you have perfect fancy feet there in that bot lane to dodge every hook. And think about that. Short boots have already been completed from M1. That's the maximum amount of movement speed you're really getting as this Lux. And you're not dodging a Riri that easily.
No, I mean, at least 8 out of 10 hooks have landed so far, you know, in this game. And once again, Oriri, this is like the comfort picks for them. So I've learned here, and oh man, that Trinity Force with those grass procs are just absolutely impactful by Syntax. I mean, isn't Cassante supposed to be a tank?
Cassante got a sizable amount of nerfs. There's a reason we haven't been seeing him for a bit now. They definitely have taken him out of the meta, and now with this Camille getting some buffs herself, really showing why, even as support, how much damage you can do. And let alone when you put her into the role she's meant for in this top lane. How much you can just rip apart a tank like Obelisk here in this top lane. Plus, you have all 6 grubs that were picked up again by next level. So Camille in a side lane, you can end the game yourself if you don't want a team fight. And that is going to be difficult with a 3-0 Camille. Sure, you have the 5-0 Caitlyn on the other side. But I'm worried a little bit for Art of War. It's kind of feeling like we're watching a repeat of the last game, just with very different champions.
Very different, and I mean, it is still not completely done, though, of course. You know, the 5-0 Caitlyn is looking really nice. They're doing
it ain't over till it's over, but they did lose out the Dragon there. And the fact that Syntax was there, I actually thought maybe we would see next level look for the pick on a Dolan, and especially if you get that shutdown off of Caitlyn, then that's it. That's going to be the death nail for Art of War. So they got to make sure that they are perfectly peeling for Dolan every fight if they want to win.
Yeah, Dolan cannot be stepping up in the slightest and cannot be caught out by themselves. That is for certain. Did the changes for Mordekaiser already come into effect for the QSF and everything?
Not yet. That'll be next. That'll be next patch. Then we'll see Mordekaiser everywhere. As Echo is going to take Crims into the Shadow Realm. We saw this before. Sky Splitter, Stormbringer trying to fight back with a frenzy, flashing forward, but the maze! Echo turns it around in the 1v1. Body blocked, ace in the hole. So no loss on Mordekaiser.
Oh, and that hook went straight through him. That was crazy. I mean, it was a very good victory of getting Mordekaiser away from you. Why would you go back in? You flashed in. You flashed into the Q.
He was hoping to get the W heal. That's why. I know exactly what Crims was hoping there. It was purely to get the heal back from your W, and with that heal, you survive the Q. But unfortunately, there is technically a little bit of a wind-up timer when it comes to the bite, as you're not going to heal up until you finally land the bite from the frenzy. And until that happens, no heal means that just a little bit of extra damage that Echo was able to get there was enough.
Okay, understandable, and I mean, still, that's one thing in League of Legends. Take your wins when you have them on all of them. Nice flash.
Nice flash. You flashed away there, but he already used the rock grab beforehand. As we go back into the mid lane, Hustle nearly getting soloed again there by Fire Mana. Showing how good this Karma can be, especially getting that Malignance here. Doesn't matter if it got nerfed beforehand, Karma's still good with that item.
Yeah, this Karma's been absolutely just battering, you know, the Yone there. And hold on. Oh my god,
hold on,
Syntax.
Syntax. Does have Echo on the other side. Do they want to go for the ultimatum? Waiting it out a little bit. Trying to heal back in with Echo getting a nice bat shield and the burst of damage there from the tactical sweep. More and more, but it's actually going to be the shutdown. Crims takes out Echo.
Fire Mana showing, like you said, what Karmas are capable of doing. 2-0 and 1. The shields, the damage. That was phenomenal gameplay. 100% by Fire Mana is the reason why Crims did not die there.
Oh, yeah, 100%. The one thing that I really like about Karmas and why I know there's a lot of pros who hate playing Karma, but God, when you have a Karma, you do it and do a lot of damage early into the game. And then if you fall behind, it doesn't matter because you can become a secondary support for the team. And we saw right there the damage that Fire Mana was doing, plus the shields given over to Crims that entire time. As Boisol does walk right up to Crims. Good use of the dash there from Yone. That's kind of what I was talking about with the rocket grab. Got those weird interactions with certain dashes.
Absolutely. And, you know, everyone right now, this is a very different game for Art of War than we saw last time. And, oh, getting a little bit of cheeky combos out, but that Karma.
Yeah, I mean, you saw how little damage that actually did to Fire Mana. That was the Lux ult used too, and doing pretty much nothing.
Didn't matter. Didn't matter at all. This is definitely going to be, once again, another Serpent's Fang kind of game. They kind of have to, between the Cassante, the Volibear, I mean, everyone has a shield, essentially, you know, with the Karma being there.
You actually can get it. I think you can actually get it for Cheeto. Unlike last time, I'm like, I don't know if Dolan's going to be able to complete that Serpent's Fang in time. This time, I think Cheeto, because you are going for that poke Varus here, getting the extra gold in the spot lane. His first break gold picked up 2. So Cheeto definitely can go for that as a second item.
That is very true, and they're starting to catch up in CS. It used to be about a 30 CS lead, everybody, on the side of Next Level, but they trimmed it down to about like a 10-15 CS lead in the top and the mid there, and those kills definitely coming in clutch once again for Fire Mana on the Karma here. And I think that's really where a lot of their focus should continue to go entering into the mid game would be Fire Mana. I mean, they're doing a phenomenal job utility-wise. They have great damage. They have all sorts of things that they can utilize for the team, and they're already 2-0 and 1. Caitlyn's 5-0 and 2. All that's going to happen to her is that her shutdown gold is just going to keep on going up, and then she's going to feed 1,000 gold to somebody because she's just a squishy ADC. I'm an ADC main. It's just true.
that is true, but this is why I like having the double support on your team. There's a good flash there from Hwaso, gets away from the rocket grab. And I'm looking kind of here for the side of Art of War. And Dolan, even, you know, like you said, it's like, you just get more shutdown gold on this. Caitlyn could be devastating, especially because you have something like a Mordekaiser that can take her to the Shadow Realm. But if you can get that second item, you can get that spike before. Look at this. Anybody else is even close to you. And you have a fairly cheap build path there from Cheeto, with Dolan still having quite the lead. So the fact that you have this Caitlyn off to the races, we're only 16 minutes into the game, and she's already almost at that second item. That drop that I was talking about before, gonna be gone here momentarily if one good fight happens.
That is true, and I think they definitely have the team fight scenario between the Volibear Karma setup. You know, it's just about positioning, but look at this. These neutral objectives, even though they're down slightly in kills, the gold has been always in their favor on Next Level. They've been all this pressure on the neutral objectives as well. Oh my god, what a teleport.
Had to go for the ult there, but the ult with the all out, and then the Stormbringer in the top lane just to secure that kill. So they can take down this turret as well. Yeah, that TP was a bit devastating for Hustle. Maybe just trying to escalate that 0-10 power spike. Well, actually, it's going to be 110 because he has a kill.
Yeah, now he has to go 20 deaths in order to balance it out. Since he got
this is actually going to be good. This is kind of the problem that you were talking about as Dolan, especially when there's a Fed Camille on the other side. You can't get away. Shutdown picked up by Syntax and a Riri with no turret behind you. This Blitzcrank has got nowhere to go except the grave. Double kill for Syntax.
Yeah, that's the reason why I was like, if anybody needs to get like fed the most, I would definitely be leaning towards Karma. She has the most utility, can get in, can get out, has the most chances of survivability. But hold on, wow, Volibear, you are an animal.
They are looking for this one. Then there it is. Fire Mana getting the killing spree as well. But now they're between two turrets. And Obelisk took a lot. It's going to be Hwaso trading baggage. Crims will die. Wait, double kill for Hwaso?
Yeah, what? The Fate sealed. That was great. Or no, he didn't even have Fate sealed. It was just autos.
I thought the Cheeto got an auto there.
maybe in between, but you know, the young he's got to make up some last time for those 3 deaths that he had. He said, if I can't go 0-10, then I just go 10-3 then from this point forward.
Fair. Yeah. Getting that Kraken Slayer with the Vampiric as well. And now we're seeing the problem, as you kind of had so eloquently highlighted before, that you have when you have a Fed Caitlyn, a Fed ADC up against a Fed Camille. If she's on the same screen as you, you're dead. You're an ADC main. You know how it is. This is why I like playing support, and I like playing support Vigar, because I see an ADC on my screen, I just go, oh, I'm killing you.
All right, we're duoing after this whole setup here, but I love me some Vigar support. I'm not even gonna lie, that's incredible. But the 5-0 Camille, you know, does have a slightly of the same problem as Caitlyn. The only thing is that she has the health to back up that 600 gold shutdown though, so that makes her a little bit less susceptible to falling here. But she is gonna be in the middle of all these fights though. She has to be in the middle. That's her entire kit. You know, and if the rest of the team isn't there to back her up, she has the potential of giving up some major gold and, you know, lowering that huge lead that they have currently, you know, between the two. So
it's possible, but it is also Camille, and that Hextech ultimatum to push people away, especially from Dolan, so you can pick up the kill there, get rid of Caitlyn, and then go, all right, who's next on the chopping block? Who else do I get to cut down with some scissor legs?
that is true, and that's where Oriri and Fire Mana, and like you said, that double support are going to have to be playing at their absolute best there, applying all the peel, the shields, doing everything they can to make sure that Dolan does not fall to Syntax.
Syntax just going to kind of put pressure in the spot lane. They have TP that if they need to join in for any fight soon, they can. We're only 19.5 minutes into the game, not even at the Baron, and we have 22 kills into this game. Both teams really want to skirmish. You can see that Crims sees Echo, but will be slowed down, but the pull back onto Oriri. Echo will be tagged by a little bit of poke there from Fire Mana, but we're getting to this point now where Mordekaiser, Rallies, we talked about that rush for the Mordekaiser, now with the Leandries too, and honestly, I'm even wondering, what do you go here as the second item? Do you go for the Rift Maker, or do you just go tank after this one, just to make sure that nobody's ever killing you?
Yeah, I would definitely lean towards tank. He's the only, like, tank option that they have, really. Everyone else is just straight damage. I mean, Camille, technically, but she's going damage, too. She's just healthy. I would definitely lean more towards that tank, since you're going to be the only front line. And, plus, if you're going to be taking somebody into, you know, the realm there, into your ultimate to Brazil, you gotta...
Can I just say that Riot's missing out on not having made a Mordekaiser Brazil skin? Yeah.
That's or like a Mafia or like a Pablo Escobar or something.
No,
like, you know,
literally they can have it where it's just he's donned in like a World Cup like Brazilian flag, and that, you know, just have that kind of skin. Then he takes you to the Shadow Realm, and it's just a soccer field that's got Brazilian flags everywhere.
That would be amazing. It's just too perfect. They can't have anything too perfect.
Literally, it's a missed opportunity. You know how I would buy that. I would buy that in a heartbeat. Like, imagine everyone in Brazil, too, they have the Brazilian flag in the game. They're going to buy that, too.
And it's an inside joke, too. It would be absolutely perfect. You're not wrong.
Just hire me for the skins team. I got a million ideas like this.
You got my vote, but they're also voting on this Infernal Drake that's going to be popping up in 15 seconds on the side of Next Level. And they have all the vision in the world. Look at that. Lit up like a Christmas tree. Couldn't ask for anything better.
Yeah, really making sure they have every angle, and that's going to be the TP, but they got to pull onto Cheeto, so they burst him down first. 4v5 with the TP behind, but look at where Cassandre is. Obelisk is not there. If they want to start this fight, they're going to go for it. Spades on Seal, back line. They're on to Dolan, but he flashed away. Flash coming in from Huasul to take him out, and they can snap back to reality, and it's going to be Obelisk trying to take down Huasul, but when everyone else is diving, huge burst of damage from the ult. Takes one, ultimatum, Oriri hit with the mace again. Then Obelisk could not ever kill Huasul. Instead, you'll be the one dying to Huasul.
Absolutely incredible. That final spark there, you know, from M1, very pivotal. I mean, that was just some serious damage. In the Fate Seal to start off the fight, Hasal was able to just separate the Caitlyn and then get the flash and get the kill out of it, and then return with absolutely no worries at all. I don't think anyone fell. No. Cheeto ended up dying when I continued the first engage.
Technically, Cheeto died. Died before the fight, right? It was a 4v5 essentially, but really I loved how Next Level did that. Like I said, Obelisk was spotted out. They knew that he was coming from the bot lane. You didn't want to TP in because it wouldn't have mattered. They could easily pull the trigger there, and Huasul at this point in the game, 5-3 was, I think, 3-3 beforehand, but having 2 items can always kill Dolan. either Hwasol or Syntax now can kill Dolan before the fight even commences, and we saw that. And Hwasol getting kind of picked out here is going to be a nice pick and a nice shutdown that Dolan will get for themselves to kind of get like a consolation prize after the last fight.
Yeah, definitely had to get his get back there, but a little bit plus with that 500 gold shutdown. Nice knockback into the tower, but Syntax is just an absolute unit here. 5-0 and 2 for a reason. You know, healthy boy, able to tank a lot of damage, has the life steals, is just able to just get all that right on back just by a few autos on those minions. But, I mean, that was a great look, and this kind of puts Caitlyn, I think, a little bit better, in a better position here. As you see, she's going to be building the rapid fire cannon next, so definitely typical. Has the QSS while she still can for the Mordekaiser ulti, so she's definitely looking a little bit better at this point in time. 24 minutes into the game, 15-13. A lot of neutral objectives, though, going in favor of Next Level. And that's something that they've not been able to really overcome as a team in these first two games. And I say first two because it could be a game 3.
Yeah, it could be. We don't know yet. We don't know. It's still not over. And here, honestly, this is a better angle than we saw last time for Art of War, though that was a lot of damage from M1. Having that Malignance as the first item on your Lux, even if it's a Lux support, does a lot of work there for the team and kind of puts back Art of War. And with the Baron spawn, yeah, that's just going to be the call from Next Level. They are spotted out, but the fact that they got 2 members, Crims being one of them, so low already, it's forcing Art of War to stay on the map. And Fireman is trying to throw out a couple Qs here with a Riri, maybe looking for the pull onto Echo to get rid of him inside of the pit, but they don't have Crims nearby. They realize there is no hope there, so they're going to fall back, pull out a little bit of damage on Hwasol, but it is still the objective secured by Next Level.
Yeah, the mind games that they're playing on the side of Next Level is just phenomenal here. You know, Lux M1 definitely was the catalyst for them to get that neutral objective, but, I mean, you have to give the flowers to Echo for just being able to just maintain the superiority inside the jungle, has 60 farm lead over the Volibear as well, so the impact that he's just able to provide and be for his team has been absolutely amazing. 2 levels up as well. That's big.
And this is kind of why we haven't really been seeing Volibear top jungle. We've been seeing him mostly top lane, is because he can get farm a little bit easier. He does kind of fall off in the jungle as you get later into the game, unlike the top lane where he will stay consistent the entire time, gets to level 16 even sooner, which is even more potential to dive. And so now we're at this position for Art of War. Baron has been secured by Next Level, and you are slowly losing your grasp of the game. You talked about it before, that 3 dragons have already been picked up by Next Level, and they don't really need to play for anything here. They can look for maybe Fire Mana caught out a little bit too far from the base or from his turret. They could look for maybe a dive on Obelisk in the bot lane, but they don't have to. These are just more like icings on the cake, and if they get the kill like they got in their top lane, it's just even better.
Yeah. 2 items is all you need, because that's 100% crit with the Wind Brothers there. And as I hate those champions, I'm not even going to lie. But Hwasol finding himself in a 1v3.
He's going to die here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Give it over to Dolan. Dolan, wait a minute. Actually, whoa. M1, nice play there.
And that was no damage from Lux, by the way. M1 didn't do anything on that kill. That was a complete solo pickup kill Hwasol did to Caitlyn.
Yeah,
no
but
damage.
The thing is, it was the mental damage. It's the mental damage from M1, where it's like, if like Dolan didn't die there, M1 gets the kill. It was because Final Spark just didn't land in time that no matter what, Dolan kind of realized. That's why he didn't even bother flashing. He's just like, I'm gonna die regardless, so why bother flashing on this play? I'll have to give up the kill regardless.
Yep, and I mean, I'd rather give it to a Lux than 7-5 Yon. I mean, he's already impactful, and he just picked up his IE.
I think no matter what, you're doomed. You give it to the Lux then can build a second item in the game. You give it over to Hwasol gets a 3rd item. So no matter what, you're kind of screwed in that play. And you're dead as Caitlyn, which means your wave clear is gone. You lost time that you could potentially put some vision around this dragon, and that is an Infernal Soul. That's kind of what we were trying to set up before. That is how important this is for Art of War to stay on the map and stay relevant, because now they're forced to exit their base when they're falling so far behind. A lot of these items have been completed. They're getting another Final Spark with the pullback in onto Crimson. Look at that damage coming in from Echo onto the Bear as he takes him to the Shadow Realm. Just slowing him down. Mace gets another kill there for Mordekaiser. And with that dragon up, there is no steal anymore for Art of War.
No, I mean, maybe a Caitlyn Q, but I don't think that's going to outsmite.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's not gonna outsmite, and if you are Caitlyn and you're spotted, even if you steal it, you die, game ends. It's over right there.
Yep.
Immediately. And right here where we saw that Syntax was just in the side lane, that if they didn't go stop Syntax, if they went to try to steal that dragon, they're losing the base to Camille. It's pretty much a catch 22, 22, 22. There's so many different problems happening at the same time, and none of them are the right choice.
Nope. Right now, they are just doing a phenomenal job on the side of Next Level. I mean, the real catalyst right now, I think, for the second half of this game, M1 is definitely the MVP. Echo was the MVP for the first half, and M1 is the MVP for the second half. Getting these very big damage, final sparks off onto Crims, secluding him, and then allowing Echo.
No.
Oh my God!
I like that pick onto Cheeto. That is a nice play, but it's onto Cheeto. The 0-4 bars. They get the root there from the Lux, and then the burst of damage from Hwasol as he dives in, snaps back. So they trade 1-for-1. Ace in the hole, chipping at the damage, but Syntax opening up the base all the while. Echo too. He's on the other side, just saying, hey, I'll just casually take this turret. Then Syntax gets back into the base and it's like, I'm still putting threat on you.
Yeah, they are the macro play. They can do whatever they want, wherever they want on this map. They can just only run from fire to fire.
M1, the support is beating the Caitlyn, the 7-3 Caitlyn. When that is happening, I think you would kind of understand that the game is done.
Yeah, or it's entering its final stage for certain. I mean, M1 has been absolutely relentless. Final Spark almost up again. But when you have Hwasol, you have M1, you have Echo, who's on the Mordekaiser, by the way, guys. It's just... You can only deal with so much, you know what I mean? Yep. And everyone, the floodgates are completely open here for Next Level.
And the fact that they got that final inhibitor here in the top lane, they have already gotten the grubs too, those mites that keep spawning, that make it even harder for Art of War to do anything. That's why they feel that they have to go for any pull, any play at all. A little bit of damage there onto Echo, but not having the ace in the hole just yet for Dolan. They're chasing down. Stormbringer onto M1. They do get a shutdown, which is going to be nice, but it's going to be traded back 1-for-1 at the moment with Hwasol. Getting a knock up onto Rig, using the Fates Unsealed to seal the fate there of Art of War. Dolan, the ultimate has been laid out. Fireman at 2, the last surviving member, pulled into the Shadow Realm by Echo. You can have the root, but that is way too much. It's way here for Echo. And Next Level as Obelisk spawns back up. Died earlier, only to die again right at the Nexus. Game, set, and match for Next Level Esports.
Yeah, it always starts off so well for Art of War, but then Next Level Esports just has a nice, cool, calm level head entering into that mid game, and then of course because of the insurmountable lead that they get at that point in time, entering into the late game is an absolute ticket and nail in the coffin, and it's just game over. 2-0 in this series for Next Level.
And I gotta give some credit over to Art of War, though. They played the early games well. They were looking for those skirmishes. They were looking for those fights. It was great to see from them. But the biggest problem is that it just seems that they just struggle once you get to that mid game. Both games, we saw this before, not last week, but the week before that, they had a very similar problem where they get these early leads, and then it's just something about that mid game that they struggle to comprehend, to kind of push past in order to beat a team like Next Level Esports here.
It's the CS, like, exponential fall behind as the game continues. Like, the early experience and that early gold is just so necessary for that mid-game. We don't just talk about mid-game because it hits 15 minutes. We're talking about mid-game as in they're either items, the levels, the everything. And Next Level is ready for the mid-game, while Art of War is still severely in the early game. And that's where, as you 20, 25, 30 minutes, it's just, nope, we're level 18, we have 4 items, you're level 14, you have 2-3 items, and Next Level just absolutely obliterates from that point forward.
Props over to them as well, playing with the E-sub here for Next Level Esports. Still picking up that 2-0, dominating fashion as well. So they will go to an even 50-50 split there, 3-3. But that's going to be it for us here at the Diamond League for Blue Otter. Thanks for subbing in at the last moment there. It was good having you in. Where can everyone find you and follow you normally? Because I know normally you're casting like the Gold League.
Yep, I do the Gold League and I do the Plat League as well for Blue Otter and the Nameless Org. You can follow my Twitter Twitter right down here, official Ryline. I usually just retweet everything that they go ahead and do, so definitely catch me there. But much appreciated and awesome working with you today.
Well, thank you so much, and thank you everybody for joining us. We will see you I think actually next week, because I don't think I think this is the last day of the week. So we'll see you all next week for more Blue Otter Leagues, as we always love to be here, and catch you later. Goodbye.